Hello friends, I hope you are doing well. Today is the 2nd February 2026. I am here to share with you today's most important and interesting news. First news about India's government launched one app. It's called Bharat Vista. It's helpful for the farmers that have launched by Finance Minister and it's announced during budget on Sunday, 1st February 2026 that have helped for the farmers about weather condition, crop healthiness and AI feature inbuilt there. That means farmer catch the photo of his crop and send in that app. There on that app find out the disease and which types of the fertilizer required for that crop and send information immediately within 2-3 seconds. That means it's app for the farmers very well, because approximately 60 to 70% farmers has in our India which belong to rural area and they are not well educated. That means they are educated but they are not connected with the artificial intelligence and technology. So that reason this app very helpful for them. Let's move toward next news. Next news about our budget. Our finance minister, respected Nirmala Sitaraman, announced a budget on Sunday on 1st February 2026. There he focused on defense sector, infrastructure and agriculture and education. That means for the infrastructure they are spent first ranking, second has a defense and fourth number has their agriculture. That means 53.3 lakh crore has a total budget. Of a total budget there has, I'm talking about only the defense sector. Defense sector 15 percentage spent money for the defense sector. That means it's a best news for our country. And agriculture sector there has 3% spent of the total budget. Talking about the ranking, India has a third ranking in 2026 in all countries. That means first number there has USA. USA's GDP is 31.6 trillion and total of his GDP they have spent USA approximately 7 to 9%. That means it's a small percentage spent, but talking about total GDP and the percentage it's a big. So that is in USA has a first number. Second number has a China. Total GDP of the China has around 20 trillion US dollar. And China also spent approximately 10%. So that is in China as a second position. Talking about the India has a third number, because India spent there of the total GDP approximately 4%. That means total GDP of India has 4.5 trillion and India has a fourth ranking around all countries, but India spent third number ranking in all. Talking about the total budget, there has a Ukraine total 50% spent. That means if Ukraine are 100 rupees, so within 100 rupees has 50% of a total amount spent on defense sector, because there has a one reason Ukraine fight with Russia. So that reason Ukraine must be focused on the defense sector, and Ukraine country got all drones, weapon equipments from USA. So that reason USA also want that things, because USA maintains the GDP and USA can't maintain the peace in Middle East and Africa continent also, because it's a help to USA for increase the GDP. So that reason USA manufacture weapon equipment and provide it to them. It is like psychological warfare. It's like a game changer. So that reason the people's unaware, uneducated and government also they fight with each other, and finally what's the reason and the decision are there. That means USA has a took first number because there has a gap. Like 31.8 trillion is the first ranking company USA, the GDP. The population talking about the China and USA has a very there has a gap. But thereon USA has a first ranking 31.8 trillion US dollar GDP of the USA, and third number has Germany has a 5 trillion, and fourth number has India 4.5 trillion. There has a gap. India has a first ranking about population in world. Thereon, population not a matter for the GDP, but there matter like infrastructure and to how much amount product producing and export to the other country. That means export it is the one of reason which are essential, and US export to defense sector to the all Asian, African and North America continent and South America continent also. So that reason USA can't just think about maintain the peace. USA tried to sign an agreement between both countries which has a conflict, but not a finally. So that reason there is a game changer point. So talking about the agriculture sector, so agriculture has a 3%. So I must focused on one point, that means education sector. India has spent 2 to 3% of the total amount of the budget. Only 2-3% spent on the education sector. So Indian government must be think about the education, because if youngster use their artificial intelligence and different types of the technology in school college, thereon that youngsters bright future of our nation. Because if student learn a new technology, that means that's my opinion, government and finance minister focused on the education sector, because the new technology, artificial intelligence, different types of courses has in the private sector. Those courses why government not use and continuously in government school college and private school college. That means in first class to 10th class there has a basic structure which has current new education policy. But there why not use a skill like how use artificial intelligence like ChatGPT, Perplexity and Gemini, then how may build a project and those types of that means if there has, that means a student not think where is the interest, student didn't showing their interest, who's create the interest create that student atmosphere where is stay. If any student stay with those peoples whose are engineers, so interest automatically in bit. For an example, X Y Z, that name person stay with a farmer, so the interest inbuilt in that person has in farm, not in other sector, because the think of that person has in regarding the farmer. So that is, let's move toward the next news. Next news about our foreign minister Shankar meet and held the meeting of Arab League. What is Arab League? Arab League, it's from 22 March 1945. Arab League there has total 22 member countries, and most of their 90% Muslim, it's called the Islam, has in those country. Total 12 country of Asia continent and 10 country of African continent has in that Arab League regional organization. Talking about their meeting, they focused on the Palestine and Israel conflict. It's not a today's and yesterday conflict. It's a conflict from 1967. That needs a very longest and a very old conflict, old age conflict. So there has a very badly issue. They fight each other. But today has held the meeting by India. India participated there and discussed with the Arab nations, and about that Palestine country has a part of Arab League. There on when held the meeting by Indian minister there on Israel open gate. It's called Haruf Gate, and that gate Rafal Gate opened by Israel. And Rafal Gate has best opportunity to Palestine and Gaza Strip peoples who's entering Egypt. So that is this news very important for the Palestine peoples, because through that gate aid, administration, and all important daily routine things brings from Egypt to there. So thank you so much friends who are listening and watching this video. I hope that information very helpful for your upcoming examination. Thank you so much.